Hey, Shalom, it's your brother Wanathan, all right? Let me see, make sure my mic is on here. Yeah, all right. All right, want to give all praises first and foremost to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth in sincerity, all right? May the blessing of election be upon your house, all right? We're going to talk about fair weather faith today. Now, many of you heard the term a fair weather fan. Somebody will be down with something or, a person when things are going good. But when they're not, that person will switch up on you, Now, there's a lot of people who, even know this truth, are in the spirit, When things aren't going their way, they're not on fire as there should be. They're not as fervent as they normally would be. You got to be fervent in the up or the down. It talks about that in Philippians 3. And you start at verse 10. All right? It talks about still walking uprightly, whether you're abased or whether you're abound. Okay? And that's something that's not really harped on often the time. Especially when people come into this walk. It's not pushed to you often the time, especially with these other groups, that, you're going to get tested and catch hell. You know how your faith is built? Your faith is built through trials. It's not built through comfortability. Okay? So we're going to get into that a little bit. And the first precept I want to go to is Isaiah 29 and 13. All right? And that reads, "This people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me." And the word there for heart, I'm most certain is going to be the word la'ab in the Hebrew tongue, which means the mind. You make judgments in the mind. So a lot of the judgments, a lot of the, the lifestyle people are living doesn't necessarily align with the standard the Lord commissioned us to have, especially not when people are being tested. They cleave unto carnal solutions. See, a lot of people know how to look like they're down. All right? But their life doesn't support the look they put on, the way they live their life, man. Let's go to Matthew 13 and 20. It says, "When tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended." Okay, let me go get this really quick in a different app. All right, Matthew 13 and 20. "But he that received the seed into stony places," all right, the seed parable, all right, "the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he not rooted himself, but endureth for a while. For in tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended." So there's a lot of people, man. Yeah, they're Israelite when it's sunny outside, but when this persecution begins to come, all right, when someone's scolded or corrected or rebuked, or they have to stand on, the standard the Lord commissioned, even though it's not world friendly, they get offended. Their loyalty isn't really to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It's to themselves. They worship the creature more than the creator. They're still in the world, really. They know a little bit about being Israelite, but they're still in the world. And we don't want to be in that category. All right? Understand, when you're praying for faith, when you're praying for your faith to be strengthened, that's going to come with opportunities for you to exercise that faith. And it's not to destroy you, but it's to help you grow. So you just got to realize that, man. In our walk, if the Lord is really dealing with you, it's not going to be, candy and roses all the damn time. Most definitely not if the Lord is dealing with you. The scriptures tell you that, if the Father dealeth with you, he dealeth with you as a son. And he's going to chasten you betimes, meaning often. All right? So you got to build up a spiritual endurance, because tests are going to come back to back. You're going to pass the test, and the Lord going to send you another test. You're going to pass that one. And as you build that spiritual muscle, just like how, you know, when you go lift weights, you know, you first get in the weight room, it's going to be a lot of soreness, especially when you're pushing yourself. But as the years go along, yeah, you're still going to be sore someday, but it's you build up a calluses to it. It doesn't drain you emotionally or mentally the same way it once did. You're just kind of flowing. It's just a natural muscle memory response to pushing yourself. Same thing in the spirit. Okay? But, you know, 2/3 of our people, the people who aren't meant to, you know, cross that finish line, they're going to pivot in the days to come. They're going to pivot to carnal solutions, man. They're going to return into their vomit. Like, hey, we named this the year of apostasy, right? People are going to be looking, you know, to make their own escape from the, you know, the perils that's coming. Looking for aid from society, the same society that seeks to destroy them, rather than seeking the Lord. Let's go to Isaiah 31:1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Okay, in Egypt, we're in spiritual Egypt now. All right, we're in bondage now. Okay. Woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, all carnal solutions, to escape. No, the Lord is going to give us the way to escape. Okay? Because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. See, the people that are going to pass the test, their natural defense mechanism, their natural defense mechanism when things get tough, when things aren't tough, is to cleave unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's really the only way you can pass the test. That has to be your muscle memory, spiritual muscle memory response when you're in trouble, is to turn to the Lord. And if it's not, you're going to get caught up in all kind of shit. Like, you should be quick on the draw when it comes to catching hell or adversity. Quick on the draw in the sense that you immediately, by default, it's just an involuntary response for you to turn to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's the point we need to get to. We all do. Alright? Let's go to Jeremiah the 17th chapter. In verse 5 here, it says, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm. Right? And you're not making the Lord's arm your arm. The Lord's right hand is Yahweh Shai. That's his extension out unto us. And maketh flesh his arm, in whose heart departeth from the Lord. Okay? Arm here, you know, it just simply represents salvation. Alright, Yahweh Shai, again, like I mentioned, Yahweh Shai is the Lord's arm unto us. Let's back that up real quick. Isaiah 51:1. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness. Ye that seek the Lord, look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. Alright? Let's also get Isaiah 52. It says, 52:10, Isaiah 52:10. The Lord hath made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our God. By way of who? His son returning. The son returning, man. So, hey, the Lord is reaching his arm out to us. And that needs to be, you know, what you cleave unto when the going gets tough. That has to be your natural defense mechanism, you know. One more, Isaiah 59:16. And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him, which we know again who that arm is. One more. Isaiah 63:5. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. So the Lord again placed Yahweh Shah for us to cleave unto, to receive salvation, which is what we all seek. That's the whole point. All right. So depending on man is rebellion, bro. Even when, even if the Lord ain't moving as fast as you think he should, which it don't matter what you think, and the Lord ain't on your time, you have faith, man. He may not come on the time that you think he should, but he always on time. All right. Let's go to Job, the 2nd chapter, because I want to get that contrast between Job, his being full of faith, and his wife who had conditional faith. All right. There was 2 responses in Job's house to the storm. He had the right one. Let's read his wife's response, though. It's Job 2:9. All right. Scripture I love to go to. It reads, Then said his wife unto him, let me start at verse 7. All right, Job 2:7. And Satan had to get permission to go test Job like this. You understand? Any test you get, it's sanctioned. Okay? Sometimes it's a test, and some people they get judgments, but either way it's sanctioned. Job 2:7. Or sometimes it's a combination of the two. Alright? So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, boom, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. The sole of his foot, man. So even walking was oh my goodness. Verse 8. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and sat down among the ashes. Job was through, man. Verse 9. But this is what his wife came to him with. In the midst of all of that, this is the energy she came to him with. Then said his wife unto him, and Satan put the spirit on her to come up to him with this bullshit too. Then said his wife, because they're a weaker vessel, man. They're more susceptible to evil. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. Blasphemy. Verse 10. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. This is the right mindset as opposed to his wife's. Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job say with his lips. Yeah, man. We're going to receive evil. We're going to have bad times here, man. And you got to understand it's an opportunity to grow, to exercise the faith the Lord has blessed you with. Let me tell you something, man. This devil, he about to slander us in a way we never seen before. You see all these files that came out? People openly know these people are Satan worshipers. They fucking the kids up. But he gonna spin the narrative as to where we're the problem. And people gonna eat that shit up. How thick is the lie gonna have to be for them people to turn their attention away from the billionaires who have the resources to sway the world in whatever direction they want and decide that we're the problem? Obviously, we're in closer proximity to the people. So, people always want to take their frustrations out on things they can see and touch. But how thick is that deception? How thick is that lie going to have to be for people to decide that we're the problem? So be prepared, man. Be prepared to not be betrayed or seen in a favorable light. It's coming. Alright, our brought us out, the Lord be with us and strengthen us to endure, man, in the midst of all of it. But, you know, those who cleave unto carnal solutions, like we've been saying this whole video, are going to reap destruction. Okay, this is Hebrews 10:38. Let's go there real quick. Bear with me while it loads and pulls up. Alright, Hebrews 10:38. Now the just shall live by his faith. It's just like Habakkuk 2 and 3, I believe. Now the just shall live by his faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. Yeah, Habakkuk 2 and 4 is like it. Anybody who falters during the test, man, the Lord ain't gonna have no pleasure in you. It's like a man, you have a woman, and you know, you see a guy that might, you know, he got more money than you or something. He got something she like, and she got the energy as though you know she'll betray you for that man. She's smiling and touching, rubbing his shoulder, and you catch her. You gonna be like, bitch, I can't fuck with this bitch. She not really for me. She's a fair weather fan. That's how the Lord sees somebody who falters in temptation, who falters during the test. Can't be a quitter, man. Let's go to Luke, the 9th chapter, 62, I think. Luke 9 and 62, the bottom, says, Yahweh Shah said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back, in that spirit of cipher on the matrix, and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God, because somebody like that isn't going to judge righteous judgment. They're not going to exemplify the characteristics that the Lord has commissioned us to have. They're not in the spirit to truly stand against the evildoer, even at their own detriment. They're not able to show the greatest love a man can show if they're willing to turn back on the mission. Go back unto sin and the spirit of the world. They can't show the greatest love, which this, you know, in John 15, Yahweh tells us the greatest love a man can show. That if a man lay down his life for his friends, and the prophets, when you out here making videos, going down the highways and byways, we've hazarded our life, as the Elder Malcolm says in Chicago. We're in great danger, but not really, because the Lord is with us. You know, we fear him, and the angels are camping around about those that fear him. So, seemingly, with the eyes on our face, we're in great danger. All right? But through the Spirit, we just fine, you know? But, just a quick lesson, man, on that fair weather faith, you know. A lot of people going to be revealed to have it in the days to come, man. Pray that it be not you. So Abarat Tazah, the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Ruach HaKodesh. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers, and of course the few sisters pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon Yahweh. Shalom.